Good afternoon, student. Welcome to history class. Hope you're all fine and in good health. So I'll be continuing with the same chapter, chapter 1, 1.3, National Movement during the Second World War. In the last class, I have explained up to August of 1940. So today I'll be discussing from arrival of Cripps mission, 1942. In the meantime, the war situation became very critical after occupying Poland, Belgium, Holland, Norway, and France. Germany attacked Russia on 22 June 1941. In the meantime, the war situation became very critical after occupying Poland. After occupying Poland, Belgium, Holland, Norway, and France. Germany attacked Russia on 22 June 1941. Having joined the Axis power, Japan made sudden attack on the American fleet at Pearl Harbor. Japan soon captured Philippines, Indochina, Indonesia, Malaya, Burma, and marched towards Assam. Joined the Axis power. Japan made a sudden attack. As Japan, without any warning, Japan attacked the American fleet at Pearl Harbor. Soon Japan captured Philippines, Indochina, Indonesia, Malaya, Burma, and marched toward. And after capturing these countries, Japan marched to Assam. Thus, they brought the war of India's doorstep. After this, they brought the war towards India's doorstep. The British army was facing defeat after defeat in the Southeast Asia. They were pressure and Britain from Russia, America, and China to reconsider their Indian policy so that India could cooperate with the British against Japan attack. The British army now they were facing defeat after defeat in Southeast Asia country and they were pressure on British from Russia, America, and China to reconsider the Indian policy so that Indian could cooperate with British against Japan attack. The British government was now in the desperate condition for seeking the cooperation of the Indian in the war effort. Now the British government was desperately looking for the cooperation of the Indian in the war effort. The government decided to send Sir Stanford Cripps, a member of the War Cabinet, to India after the fall of the Rangoon into the Japanese. Cripps came to India on 22 March 1942 and started discussion with the representatives of Congress, Muslim League, Hindu Mahasabha, the Harijans, the native ruler, and the liberal. He announced a proposal in the form of the draft declaration on March 1942. After the British government they were desperately seeking help from the Indian in the war effort. The government decided to send Sir Stanford Cripps, a member of War Cabinet, to India after the fall of Rangoon on the Japanese. Cripps came to India on 22 June 1942 and after coming to India, he started the discussion with the representatives of the Congress, Muslim League, Hindu Mahasabha, the Harijans, the native rulers, and the liberal. He announced his proposal. He announced his proposal in the form of draft declaration on March 30, 1942. The proposal of Cripps were: first, dominion status were to be granted to India immediately after the end of the war, with the right to set it from the British Commonwealth. That self-governing that the proposal said that there was self-governing would be granted to India immediately after the Second World War. The second point is, immediately after the war, the constitution making body would set up. It consists of members from British India as well as of native. The proposal also mentioned that right after the war, the constitution making body would set up. It would consist of members from British India as well as from the native state, which include the British India, which is ruled by the princely state. The constitution third point is, the constitution so framed after the war would be adopted by the British government on the condition of any Indian province, if desire, could remain outside Indian Union and negotiate directly with the British government. Even the constitution so framed after the war would be adopted to the British government on condition that any Indian province, if desire, could remain outside Indian Union and negotiate directly with the British government. The fourth point is the actual control of defense and military operation during the war would be retained by the British government. The military and the defense operation which was during the war would be retained by the British government. So the next subtopic is reaction of the Congress and the political parties. The Congress rejected the policy proposal. Congress demanded full independence, but Cripps now offered dominant state, which Congress had already rejected in 1930. Even the Congress rejected the proposal. The Congress demanded full independence, but Cripps now offered dominant state. Cripps offered a dominant state which Congress has already rejected in 1930. Secondly, the proposal wanted to create a cleavage by providing any province could opt the Indian federal country. This was a direct indication towards the formation of Pakistan. Secondly, the proposal wanted to create a sharp division providing that the province could opt out of Indian Federation Constitution. It was an indirect indication towards the formation of Pakistan. Thirdly, the Indian native states were also given the right to withdraw from Indian Union. Fourthly, the Congress proposal for forming a war council that the Indian leader was denied. That forming a war council with the Indian leaders was denied. Fifthly, all the proposals were implemented in future, so Congress did not rely on future as this proposal were implemented in future, that the Congress will not rely on future promises. Gandhiji condemned the proposal as a post-dated check on a crashing bank. The Muslim League rejected the proposal because it did not ensure Pakistan as 50-50 seat for 50-50 seat for the Muslim. Even the Muslim League rejected this proposal as they ensured that Pakistan 50-50 seats for the Muslim League with the Congress in the interim government. Moreover, the declaration had not recognized separate electorate in the constitution making body. Even the declaration, moreover, a declaration had not been recognized to have a separate electorate in the constitution making body. The Sikh, the depressed class, the Indian Christian and the Anglo-Indian demanded more safeguard for the, even the Sikh, the depressed class, the Indian Christian and the Indian Anglo-Indians demanded more safeguard for their community. Hence, the Cripps mission felt as the Cripps mission hands to pacify the Indians. But in spite of that, the British government through Cripps mission was the first time agreed that Indians should frame their own constitution. Next subtopic is Indian Quit India resolution. After the failure of Cripps mission, it became clear that the British government was not willing to transfer power to the Indian. After the failure of the Cripps mission, it is clear that the British government was not willing to give power to the Indian people. The failure of the Cripps mission further sharpened Congress hostility towards the failure of the Cripps mission further sharpened the Congress hostility towards the British. The arrival of Japan to India eastern frontier arose among the Congress mixed feeling of fear and hope. Even the arrival of Japan to India eastern frontier arose among the Congress mixed feeling of, even they have a mixed feeling of fear and hope. There was apprehension that India might meet the fate of Malaya and Burma, and Japan would be the new empire. India thought that now they had to meet the fate of Malaya and Burma, and now they had the new imperialist, which was Japan. Nehru anti-British attitude did not condone Japan aggression, as even the Nehru anti-British attitude could not condone Japan's aggression. Underneath the fear was hope that Japan might liberate India from the British. They had a hope that Japan might liberate India from British. Even Subhash Chandra Bose had already escaped from India to Berlin in January 1941 and then Tokyo and Singapore. He assured that Indians from the Azad Hind Radio, Germany 1914 and Japan had to resign on India. As even the Subhash Chandra Bose had already escaped from India to Berlin in January 1941 and then Tokyo and Singapore. He assured that Indian from the Azad Hind Radio, Germany 1940, that Japan had to resign on India. Wrapped in the mood of frustration, hostility, fear, and hope, Congress looked towards Gandhiji for guidance. After the Indians they were wrapped in the mood of frustration, hostility, fear, and hope. Now the Congress looked towards for the guidance of Gandhiji. Gandhiji had lost all faith on the British government and now wanted on the attempt to compel the British authority to withdraw from India. Now Gandhiji had lost all faith on the British government and now wanted all out attempt to compel the British authority to withdraw completely from India. He viewed that was his viewpoint was that the presence of the British in India is an invitation to Japan to invade India. He viewed that his viewpoint that the presence of the British in India, the presence of the British of India is that it was an invitation to Japan to invade India. Their removal removes the bed. Except Raja Gopalacharya, all the Congress leaders accepted Gandhiji views. Except Raja Gopalacharya, all the Congress leaders accepted Gandhiji's viewpoint. Only Raja Gopalacharya wanted to accept Cripps' proposal and the principle of Pakistan. He did not agree with Gandhiji and tendered a resignation from Congress. Next subtopic is adoption of the Quit India Resolution. After a long discussion on July 14, the Congress Working Committee adopted the Quit India Resolution, which was to be ratified by Bombay. All AICC, the full form, the AICC stand for All India Congress Committee, meeting in August, and on 8 August 1942, the ACCI passed the Quit India Resolution. After a long discussion, this resolution was passed in 8 August 1942. Gandhiji then gave the clear call to all the section of the people to participate in the movement. His message to the country was everyone is free to go to the fullest length under ahimsa to complete that log by strike and other non-violence means. Gandhiji then gave a call to all this section of the people to participate in this Quit India Resolution movement. His message to the country was everyone is free to the fullest land under ahimsa. Under ahimsa, everyone is free to come to complete that log by strike and other only by applying non-violent means. Satyagraha must go to die, not to live. They must seek and face death. It is only when individuals go out to die that the nation will survive. Karenge ya marenge, do or die. They seek and face death. If it's only when individuals go out to die and the nation will survive. Karenge ya marenge. The slogan was Karenge ya marenge, do or die. Congress leader gave the call for driving out British but did not give any specific or concrete direction or line of action to be followed. Even the Congress leader gave a call for driving out British but did not give any specific or concrete direction or line of action to be followed. The British government viewed any such ideas as rebellion and the Viceroy took a strong attitude towards the Quit India Resolution. Even the British view as such idea and rebellion and the Viceroy, the Viceroy took a strong attitude towards this Quit India Resolution. Before the Congress could start the movement, early in the morning of 9 August, Gandhiji and all the Congress leaders were arrested. Congress was also declared illegal by the authority. Before the movement started, early in the morning on 9 August, Gandhiji and all the leading leaders were arrested and even the Congress was declared illegal by the authority. The next subtopic is spread of the movement. The news of the arrest of the Gandhiji and all the leaders spread like wildfire all over the country. The arrest of the Gandhiji and the leaders were the news was spread like a wildfire in all over the country. There were hartals, demonstration. After the arrest of Gandhiji and leaders, there were hartals, demonstration and procession all over the country. As all the leaders, including Gandhiji, was now behind the bars. The young and the student took the charge of leader as local level. Now the young students were taking the charge of leader as at the local levels. At the initial stage, the government was non-violent. In the first stage, this movement was non-violent, but repression of the authority provoked the people to be but the repression which was took by the British government provoked the people to become violent. The people now devised their own method for a struggle. They were widespread cutting of telephone line and telegraph wires, damaging of railway tracks, attacking on government buildings and police station. Apart from this, all the violent forms were used to stop the movement of the police and military vehicles. Now their methods were devised. Now they were widespread cutting of telephone wires and telegraph wires, damaging the railway tracks, attacking on government buildings and police station. Apart from this, all the violent forms were used to stop the movement of the police and military vehicles. Apart from Congress Socialist Group also played an important role under the leadership of Jayaprakash Narayan, Ram Manohar Lohia and Aruna Asaf Ali. Apart from Congress, the Congress Socialist Group also played an important role under the leadership of Jayaprakash Narayan, Ram Manohar Lohia and Aruna Asaf Ali. Muslim League denounced the Quit India resolution and naturally League refused to participate in the. Even the Muslims denounced the Quit India resolution and they naturally refused to participate in the movement. The Communist Party of India also condemned the movement and it was weakened the British government and its struggle against fascism. Even this Communist Party of India also condemned the movement and it would weaken the British government and its struggle against fascism. The Hindu Mahasabha also condemned, even the Hindu Mahasabha also condemned the movement and did not take part in the national struggle. In the next class, I'll be explaining about violent public reaction and other subtopics. So that's all for today. Thank you.